Alrighty then. So, I got a couple of things to do today. Like, for example, I have one layback. Laybacks are kind of a service that we offer here. It's basically you send us your either multi-tracks or stereo mixes, and we run them through one of our machines. It's better than plug-in, and you get the real thing. It doesn't cost that much. It's about 20 bucks to do a 5-minute, 4-minute song for a stereo mix, and it's about $30 to do a multi-track up to 16 mono or 8 stereo tracks. Here on this beautiful beast that is from 1977, I believe. How could I forget? So yep, and that's exactly what we're gonna do. We're gonna fire this thing up right there. That's how I turn it on. Lights come on and stuff. All that good stuff. Right here, the display. It's set up at 15 IPS. And I guess we'll get to it. So here it is. That's the reel that I use for Laybacks. It's I think it's late 00s. I mean, something like 2007 quantity, like right before they stopped making them. 456. This was one does not shed. I believe they got it right in the end. So these usually don't shed once you bake them, and they can stay fresh for a pretty long time. I got this thing new. It was sealed, so pretty much in mint condition right off the factory. It's a bit tough doing all this stuff one-handed. Not much of a one-handed bandit, so forgive me for my clumsiness. I don't get to do this hand solo very often. So that's it. I gotta thread this thing now. That's how you do it. I know Tari says there's a little diagram that tells you how to do it. Oops. Right here. I'm focusing that. So fairly simple to thread this thing. So this is how you do it. You go around this one, around that one, the back of this one, and like that. And then you have to catch it on the. Yep. I stick my finger in here, like that. Loop around. See, let me show you how that's. It goes over my finger like this. Once it catches, well, you have to give it a few turns, so it's gonna catch. More turns. Yeah. There we go. It all caught like this. Hit stop. Reset the counter. And I almost forgot, we need to fire up the interface. That takes a while. That's a Motu 16A. I got it talking to Linux, which works fairly well. I had to roll back the firmware to the earliest possible version, but it still works like a charm. Except for like one bug where the even channels go out for some reason, and you have to restart Reaper twice. Okay, in the computer here, I'm just gonna fire up Reaper over here. Let it come up. Ta-da! And of course Emacs. Well, I can't live without Emacs. That is my problem. But Emacs is what I use for, task management and calendar and organizing and God knows what else. So I got to do some file management and that kind of stuff to prep the session, and I'll be right back with you in a sec. All right, let's see. So the customer sent me a mix that is roughly 4 minutes and 44 seconds long. That's a nice number. 44444. So I'm gonna just rewind this back to, like, let's say 5 minutes. You know, something like that. Yeah, 557. Okay, perfect. Now I'm gonna zero out the counter here. The machine is already preset. This machine holds, it's one of the later ones. It's from the 80s. So those machines hold alignment pretty well, so you have to align it like once in a blue moon. And if you're using the same roll of tape all the time, then, you know, almost never. You know, they barely ever drift, so it's rock solid. Unlike this one that you have to check on constantly, because the trim pots in there are actually variable capacitors that kind of tend to drift, you know, with temperature and humidity fluctuations. Well, I'm not gonna bore you with all that technical lingo talk anymore, and let's move on to the next thing. So I'm gonna play this onto the machine right here. So I'm gonna play it off the converter. The client sent the resolution that's 88 point, was it 88.2? That's kind of an uncommon resolution there, but we'll do it nonetheless. So we're gonna our converter can go up to 192, so that's not a problem. We're gonna just play it out of the converter onto the quarter inch right here. Here we go. Yeah, and I almost forgot that first we need to hear what's going on here. So right now we're on repro, which means we'll be listening to tape. So it's too early for that, so I'm going to switch it to input right here, like that. So we're gonna listen what's on the input of the machine. And next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna scoot over here. We're gonna grab a pair of best quality patch cables that we have, and we're going to insert them into the converter like this, and converter will go to the tape machine here, right there, tape left and right. So that's the right side, going into the right side here, like this. So now we can listen from the converter. I'm willing to bet that this is gonna be pretty loud, so I'm gonna have to pull it down. I'm gonna pull it down by, let's say, I don't know, 4 dB. This is a monitor selector switch. We're at mix 2 now, so it means we're listening from the 2 mix. I want to listen from the tape, which is tape 2 right here. Alright, let's give it a listen. Also gotta fade everything up here. There you go. Hope not gonna get a copyright strike for this, but I gotta make sure that we got I need to make sure that we got a nice modulation there without overloading the machine. So I'm gonna, that's too loud. I like to have it dancing around 0. I don't like to overload the tape because you really can't see all the peaks that are going on there, and the peaks can be hitting like way past plus 10 dB over 0. So I'm pretty conservative when it comes to levels. All right, everything looks good. Let's put our playhead here to the beginning, and I'm gonna listen from the head now, because that's very important. And I'm gonna hit record. Any moment now. There's a really big silence in the beginning, which is interesting. Here we go. We're listening from the head now. Alright, now that it's all on tape, we're gonna, search 0. We're gonna search 0, I'm gonna take it back to the beginning. Meanwhile, we're gonna patch from the output of the machine from tape. Repatch that into the input of the converter. And also, I would like to listen from the converter that I'm going to, I'm going to take a couple of these and I'm going to want to hear what's coming out of the computer. And the computer will be on tape 3 here, right there, right next to tape 2. Okay, I'm going to switch, whoops. We're gonna switch tape 3 here so we can hear from the converter. I got a channel, next channel armed over here, next track, that I armed, and that's set to input 1 and 2, which is the most convenient one for me right now. So now I'm gonna play it back from tape onto the DAW. Alright, we don't want to record anymore. Just want to play back, so I'm gonna start recording here like that, and we're gonna hit the playback here. Alright, now we're playing back from the tape machine here. Right, that's all on there. So now I just need to send it to the customer and the job is done. All done. And of course we're gonna wind it all off in library mode, as we should. Alright. Well, next up we have some in-house projects that are on 2-inch tape, so we're gonna do that, so stand by for that.